I think the AFC is wide open. Wide open. I mean, who's favored? Denver with Bo Nix? I mean, it's why it's in the NFC it's not
Broncos anywhere there. Bo Nix, huh? Not quite getting the respect in Vegas that you're giving him, huh?
Well, dumb. I mean, you're going to tell me they're not one of the 6 Super Bowl favorites? Go look at. I mean, I think Buffalo's good, really good. But put up Buffalo's roster to Denver's roster, and Denver's got the better roster.
You should do a top 10 on that one. Interestingly, I didn't see the Patriots there. Maybe.
Okay, let's talk about this because I came across this when I was making a Bills video and I knew instantly that I was going to turn this into a Denver Broncos video as well. You guys know I always try to find the little nuggets, the little random moments throughout these shows. And Denver Nuggets, there you go, perfect. But yeah, because what I found interesting about this is that first he's not making fun of Bo Nix and the Broncos, but he's just like, who's favored? Bo Nix and the Broncos? And then like literally 45 seconds later he's like, the Bo Nix and the Broncos absolutely should be, one of the best Super Bowl odds. So it's like, wait a second. What, do you not have your mind made up on Bo Nix yet? Like I don't understand. But make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. This is something that I had talked about a lot and I knew this was going to happen. I talked about this at the end of the season, etc. You like the beginning of the off-season, right? When the season had already ended. The lack of confidence in the Denver Broncos is Bo Nix. I mean, the roster is awesome, coaching staff's awesome. It's just 100% that the NFL as a whole, however we want to define that, the NFL ecosystem, the sports talk ecosystem, the people who are actually responsible for actually calculating these odds and making sure that they win more than they lose, right? They don't believe in Bo Nix. Like they have just not book. HT into Bo Nix. And it's so funny cause I've shown this graphic now a million times. And like the way how this works, like when I record is like you and I can like add images and stuff, and I will always delete them when I make a video. If I'm making some sort of thing that I bring in an image or something and then eventually I'll clean it up and delete it and whatnot. But like I made the video where I addressed this. And that this was months ago, I guess, at this point. And I was going to delete it and I was like, you know what? Just something tells me that I should keep it. That I'm not going to need it every single day or even every single week, but like something tells me that throughout the course of this off-season, it's going to be nice to be able to just bring back as a reference point. And boy, have I been right. Boy, laughter, have I been right. It's just so fascinating to me. Now, again, I'm not going to get too lost in certain stats like this, right? These are kind of specific stats and it doesn't automatically mean like, see, he's historically great. He's one of the best quarterbacks. Like I don't get too lost in that necessarily. But at the very minimum, it shows you got a dude. It shows you got a dude, and we've already seen him be the man, be the guy in these huge moments. I mean, I don't know if Bo Nix, and you see. And help me out in the comments section. Has he really truly had a bad game in a big game and like a got to have it moment? Like I remember, and I made videos, and we're not going to do this now, of course, but like when Nick tried to like make fun of Bo Nix and said how he was bad in the playoffs against the Buffalo Bills, and I ripped that take and I did a whole deep dive. Like I went through all of it and I was like, are you kidding me? Like Bo Nix actually was awesome in that game. Blah 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 blah. Then he was awesome in against the Buffalo Bills again, obviously in the playoffs, and I must say in the discovery round in the divisional round, and was awesome there, was awesome against the Kansas City Chiefs. Every time he's ever played the Kansas City Chiefs, he's been awesome. I don't really quite get it. And I'm just so excited too about the coaching changes or the coaching shifts that they have now made, specifically offensively. And yeah, it's just all Bo Nix though. They have not fully sold on Bo Nix as a whole. And I think this coming season has the potential to just completely flip that narrative once and for all. Completely flip that narrative. There's a couple things that could be so I'm on like the verge of getting chills. I'm not going to say it exactly out loud cause I just want to wait. But this coming season in Spissy. Fickily in the AFC West we are on the verge of a true not starting a new chapter, but like legitimately starting a new book. Starting a new era in the NFL as a whole. And it's not just about winning a Super Bowl or winning a division or winning an MVP. It's a collection of things. And it really hangs on the actual competitiveness. And there was a sense, let's just use the Denver Broncos as a specific example within the AFC as a whole. There was a sense that they were the number one seed. Do you remember Alex Smith came out and I addressed this recently, too. Where he's like, this is the weakest number one seed ever. Whatever. And I was like, yeah, okay. Whatever you say, bro. And there was a sense that it was, that the what wasn't as competitive, right? Lamar Jackson banged up. The Bengals nowhere to be found. Patrick Mahomes, that team was a mess. Right? Like, the Chargers, their O-line was injured and decimated. Blah 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 blah. And it's just like the way this narrative changes is that like people really do believe the Bills are awesome. And that Josh Allen isn't just, having to be Superman and carry that team. That the Kansas City Chiefs are healthy and ready to go, right? And so, when you beat them, they have Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy and a good enough O-line and the defense but right like it's they're a complete team. And the Chargers, they're not decimated. Their O-line's not decimated. And blah 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 their Mike McDaniel's a great coach and a great coordinator. And the defense isn't fall off a cliff. And all of those things. And it's like and the Broncos still get the 1 seed or win the division or something like that. It's just like that's when the conversation officially changes. That's when things officially turn over and it's like I don't care at all what has happened over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 I don't care. That's great. You want to live in the past. We live in the present. This is where we're at right now. Okay, I don't care what the Ravens have done in the past. I don't care that MVP with Lamar and Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen super I don't care about any of that, right? It's just like it's 2026, 2027. Okay. And it's just like that's what it gets boiled down to because that is what we've seen out of, the order to make on the season, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens, etc. And it's just like now that everyone's full strength, competitive, healthy. And again, I don't know if they're all going to be healthy, but let's just say they are. It's like and then you still win, you win the division, you compete, right? There's the idea that wow, the Chargers are playing great and their O-line is healthy and Mike McDaniel has that offense humming and you just at least split with them and it's because it's a competitive game and not just a weird wonky divisional game. And the Chiefs, it's like people are. Like, alright, Patrick Mahomes looks great, he's fully recovered and Rashee Rice is the number one receiver they always thought they were and Xavier Worthy has really shown a lot of progress. And now like he's a true, weapon for Andy and Mahomes and the O-line's not a liability. And the Broncos beat them in Arrowhead, right? On the road, right? It's like that now starts to complete the picture. That starts to now say stop with the justification why we're a great team. Stop trying to find the reasons why we're not quite good as a team, that our record's misleading, that our standings are misleading, etc., etc. No, we are just genuinely a great team. We are a top team in the NFL. Okay. They were the team to represent the AFC. They were the best team in the AFC last season. They just were. Whether you want to say it was 'cause of injuries or this or that, it's irrelevant to me at that moment. It's not like teams were just got completely decimated. I was never buying into the Baltimore Ravens. I was never buying them. The Cincinnati Bengals have just been the Cincinnati Bengals. The Kansas City Chiefs, yes, they definitely had some suspensions and some injury issues, but like they were not good even when they were healthy, despite what people want to invent, despite how they want to cook the books because they blew out absolutely terrible teams. Right? Like they were not it. Whether they were full strength or not, they were not it. That's the reality. That's the reality. So again, we can keep using that as a way to pull down the Denver Broncos all we want, but I just don't see it that way. I just don't see it that way. So, this season for the Broncos is going to be such a huge barometer season as a whole, and kind of like how to view the Denver Broncos, how to view Bo Nix. And I was thinking about, and actually I was just trying to do this very quickly, and so I don't think I even put Bo Nix on the list, but I can definitely add him here now. I knew I was going to leave out some quarterbacks, but someone we were just kind of talk about, like someone made a joke and said oh, 15, 16 quarterbacks could be in the MVP conversation next year. And I always try to think when we talk about the MVP conversation, there's a lot of factors. It's not just who's the best quarterback, this, that, and the third. It's who does the media want? Who is the media open to wanting to put their support behind? What team is good enough that they'll win enough games to be in that area of being able to actually win the MVP? Could they have the 1 seed or the 2 seed, one of those type situations? How is the offense run? Is the offense good enough where you're going to be able to put up awesome numbers, etc.? And it's just I see there could be a ton of momentum with Mahomes. If Mahomes is healthy and bounces back, Mahomes farts and sneezes and they're oh, we've never seen a quarterback be able to fart and sneeze at the same time. Oh my gosh. So, it's just with him coming back from a down year and the injuries, if Mahomes is even remotely competent and the Chiefs are, top 3 seed, within the top 3 seed or something, it's just okay, a ton of MVP momentum there. I think Justin Herbert could potentially, if his O-line's actually healthy, Mike McDaniel, I just think that he could put up a pretty incredible numbers and have some, a ton of these explosive big-time plays. So, I think, that's there, too. And then, then a couple other potentials out there. I won't go through the whole list. But then it's Bo Nix, right? New play caller, upgraded offense, the defense should still be legit. Again, the defense at the bare minimum shouldn't be a liability. So, it's not you're going to have the bottom fall underneath from you. And it's this team could not only still be the 1 seed, right? Still be top 2, whatever it may be, and then see cleaner, more consistent, aggressive, numbers from Bo Nix, which then, then also puts him in the equation. I don't know if he'll have the media momentum behind him. So, it'll be one of those things where the argument could be there, but they won't necessarily quite want to give it to him. I just think that Bo Nix, for whatever reason, has already lost the narrative. It's just I don't know, right? Even after his game against the Buffalo Bills, when he balled, and then he got injured. People were well, how important was he really for the Denver bro? You remember Nix came out and said, I think the Broncos are the best team to lose a quarterback because they're the most suited for it because their team isn't that depend dash. It's just really? How'd that work out for them? Not good. Okay, got you. And so, it's just the narrative for Bo Nix is just not quite there. And this is the season that has the potential to actually really just take a big chunk out of that, right? To really pop that balloon of I don't want to say negativity, but just of the lack of confidence in Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. So, yeah, I'm not going to get too lost in Super Bowl odds in May. It really doesn't mean anything to me at all. I really wholeheartedly mean that, but I'll use it as a jumping off point for a discussion, and I think I think I've been able to see the Broncos and Bo Nix and that whole trajectory pretty clearly from the jump from the moment Bo was drafted and kind of how all this stuff unfolded, and it's just been a really fun team to cover and discuss because it's messy, because it's complicated, because people doubt and because people say statements like this is the worst number 1 seed, right? Like things like that. Did people say like did he say that about the New England Patriots is the worst Super Bowl representative, right? Like, and did he say that? How about the Chiefs? Were they not the worst team to come out of the AFC in 2024 against the Eagles, right? I don't think he said that, did you? But they sure as heck got destroyed. So, it's just though the Broncos bring some of that heat and, because it directly threatens the Chiefs, and that's what I'd said 2 seasons ago and also last season. It's just like it directly threatens the Chiefs' reign, and there's just the potential that this conference, this division gets quite messy, quite competitive, and if it's truly competitive and the Chiefs find themselves like at the even though like everyone's good, right? Like the Chiefs were actually good and so like well, we were injured this and that, but like the Chargers come out on top and the Broncos come out on top. It's like man, times are changing. So, we'll see. We'll see. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Denver Broncos and Bo Nix? And the fact that I can't believe they're not at the top of the Super Bowl odds. Let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.